stars. Hello, everyone. I'm Maria Jesus Inostroza, one of the events coordinators for the Young Learners and Teenagers Special Interest Groups for IATEFL. Today, I'm here with Claudio Puentes, who is a teacher of English in Penco in Chile. Hello, Claudio.
Hello, Maria Jesus. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. We are really happy to have you today. So I was wondering if you can start by telling us a little bit about your teaching context.
Okay, well, as you mentioned before, I work in Penco, which is a coastal city in Biobío region. I teach in a primary school, public school, students from pre-K up to 8th grade. That means from 4 years old up to until 13 years old. They have a kind of elementary level of English. I could say maybe A1. That's the support that we have to reach until the 8th years. And some of them have lessons once a week, twice a week. That's my context, really. Public school located in Penco.
Okay, so we have at the moment a very particular situation that have made most of the teachers to take all the resources and adapt to what's going on with the pandemic. So in your experience in this couple of months teaching in the current situation, what would you like to share with a teacher that's still teaching online to young learners?
Well, as you mentioned, we're trying to adapt our face-to-face lesson into this new one, online lessons. As any teacher, I have to been studying a lot in order to learn how to do it. And what I have learned so far is trying to keep some of my strategies that I used to have in face-to-face lessons. Using my PowerPoints with the classroom rules for them to be aware that we are on a class. Also, as keeping my pets that I've got for each class with my students, some resources as my boss that for working and speaking with them, sometimes creating interactive PowerPoints, challenging them a lot. I was teaching a class regarding to vocabulary, with clothing. So at the end of the PowerPoint presentation, I've got the whole pictures on it, on a slide, and I was challenging them, okay, who could write first picture number 1? Or who can write first trousers? So they were playing among themselves, challenging them. So I think that those things helps a lot with my students. They're happy, telling them stories, short stories, interacting with them a lot, trying to ask them to produce English, to say hello, at least according to my bases curriculares. So according to ask them, or motivate them to use the language through the camera, through online lessons. I've been using, as I mentioned before, songs with them, the chat that I have the possibility to use through Zoom, challenging them a lot. That's mainly what I've been doing, trying to get as much as possible from this limited resources that we have in the public education.
And if we think of everything that you said that you have learned a lot, that you've been studying during this time, what type of teacher do you think will emerge after this pandemic?
Well, I think that a teacher that will be able to teach online lessons as well as face-to-face one, trying to incorporate different kind of gadgets, apps in their lessons, because those we were accustomed to teach face-to-face, maybe we used to use some flashcards, different kind of things, but now I think that we have a lot of resources that we can implement in our lessons. Maybe the new programs will teach or will prepare future teachers able to teach online and face-to-face as well, with new possibilities or new resources to assess our students. Because when we are in a face-to-face lessons, it's quite easy to assess all of them, just looking at them using different kind of rubrics or instrument. But nowadays, through online lessons, it's much difficult to do it. So trying to be aware of what they are doing, how they're moving forward with their language, I think that a teacher who will be able to teach online as well, as I mentioned before, with different resources, assessment resource. So that's quite necessary nowadays.
Okay, thank you very much for this time, Claudio. We are really glad to have you here sharing your experiences from a public school in Chile. And I hope that these small details and tips and piece of advice will help the rest of the teachers who are still working online. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Maria Jesus.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.